What's up, guys? Welcome into Good Morning Lambeau. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. You can find me on Twitter at Packers_access. You can email us, PackersTotalAccess@gmail.com. You can text us 865-658-5824. I'm joined alongside Tim live in Green Bay. We got Jacob in Wisconsin as well. Absolutely hilarious. Jacob making comments right as we go live. Get us cracking up, and then we got to try to act professional on here. But Tim, how you doing, man? That hoodie looking good, bro.
Doing good, man. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Heavy duty hoodie, man.
Yeah, really.
Get your merch, guys. This is what's up.
Heck yeah, and you can find that link in the. I never talk about it, but the link's in the description of the video for our merch store. I know we had listeners push for us to create that, so that's why we did that. But Jacob, how you doing, bub?
I'm good. Yeah, I didn't even know about the merch. I had to be like, "Yo, Tim, where'd you get that sweet hoodie?" Like dazzle, dude. All right, so yeah, shout out to the merch store.
There you go. Shout out. We're going to be creating some more merch moving forward too, some different alternate designs, things like that, just to keep it fresh. We need to get Emilio's face on one. You know what I mean? Just Emilio's face right on the front of the hoodie is what we need. Have it even embroidered. They got some embroidered options, right? Have his face embroidered on the shoulder. That'd be good. So
nice,
beautiful man, Emilio. He may jump in here in a minute. He's probably sitting on a stump right now, burning a lung dart, acting like he's working today. We know how that
acting
goes.
Like he's Tucker Kraft.
Exactly. Ain't no ice fishing going on down here. All right, let's do this, guys. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to Ticket King, today's sponsor of the show. Ticket King, awesome ticket service for your Packers, all your Packer needs. If you guys are looking to go to Packer games this year, I'm telling you, you need to check with them. They're going to be able to get you some extremely low prices compared to some of the other big name ticket offices. But Ticket King is the official ticket provider of Packers Total Access Live. They've been Wisconsin-based since 1992. They specialize, like I said, in Packers tickets, Wisconsin's largest ticket source, as a matter of fact. They've got offices next to Lambeau Field and in Milwaukee. You can also click to the link on the link in the description of this video. There's going to be a link to Ticket King, and that'll send you directly to their website, theticketking.com. They do a phenomenal job over there. So make sure you check them out. And again, want to give a shout out to them for sponsoring the show. Again, that's Ticket King based in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and Milwaukee. What you got, Jacob? Somebody already stirring it up in the chat, big dog?
I'm stirring the pot. I'm calling out.
Really not.
Calling out Eric and Affam. I'm just wondering where they're at.
Oh, yeah. They snoozing on Saturday morning, ain't they?
Oh, they're at theticketking.com right now. They're just
exactly
doing a little shopping. That's all.
Right. Love it. I know we got pretty much all the combine numbers in for the DBs, right? The ones who performed, obviously. So we've got the DBs, the linebackers, the defensive linemen, and the tight ends, right? And really, Theo Johnson kind of stole the show. I double-checked RAS again this morning, bro, and it looks like they dropped into a 9.99. Did you see that?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That should be illegal.
No doubt. Were there any other tight ends that stood out to you, Jacob, just right off the bat? Because I didn't get a chance to check them out very much. Did anybody else kind of pop, or was it just pretty much Theo?
So, not necessarily just because of their freakish ways or whatever, but people all of a sudden, there was that guy, Ty, I believe his name was, or T. He was a freak in nature. He was about another 6'6", 270 guy. He ran like 4.7 40. I believe he was out of Auburn. But then also Ben Sinnott. I sent you guys a text message about him.
Mm-hmm.
He just seems like a really well-rounded tight end. Can make plays in the passing game, all that kind of stuff. But he's also a really, really good blocker, apparently. And then there was also a guy that I sent you a text, a guy named Devin Culp. He was a little bit of a lower-rated guy, somebody I could see us taking maybe in the late rounds, 5th, 6th, 7th. That dude probably just ran himself into maybe a 3rd or 4th round pick. He, I think, ran a 4.5-ish type 40, something around the range of Theo, but not as good. I mean, that dude, I did not expect that at all. I knew that he was a little bit of a smaller guy, maybe more speedier type tight end, but Theo Johnson that dude maybe just ran himself into a 2nd round pick, 3rd round pick. I mean,
yeah.
That was crazy.
No doubt, man. Let's take a quick look at it here. Let's just go ahead and pull the tight ends up. You guys can see this okay, right?
Yeah.
He said, let me zoom in a little bit further here.
Tanner McLaughlin had a great night, too. That's a guy that maybe just ran himself into a pick.
Let's start with 40-yard dashes for tight ends. You had Devin Culp out of Washington with a 4.47.
Yeah.
Any idea what his size is, Jacob? Do you know how big he is?
Yeah, he's got good size. I think he's at least 6'4".
Wow, that's wild there. So Devin Culp out of Washington, 4.47 40. Theo Johnson comes in second at a 4.57 out of Penn State. Tanner McLaughlin out of tight end out of Arizona, 4.61. Jaheim Bell, 4.61 out of Florida State. Jared Wiley, 4.62. Tip Ryman,
Ryan, I was thinking
yeah,
about.
4.64. Is that the guy you were talking about?
Yep, yeah.
Out of Illinois, 4.64. Cade Stover, 4.65. Ben Sanat, 4.68. Jatavian Sanders, 4.69. That was kind of the top tight end in the draft, right? In most cases. Seemed like a lot of websites had him as the top. So we'll see what the rest of his measurables look like. But yeah, so there you go. Anytime you run in the 4.6s as a tight end and you're 6'4", 6'5", it's pretty good company, right, Jacob?
Did you see the guy at the bottom, Dallin Holker? Did you see what he did?
No.
He thought they were doing the pass catching drill, and he thought that he had caught the last ball. So he caught one with his left hand and then turned upfield, and he realized that he didn't. So he had one ball in his hand, caught the last ball with one hand, took it in. He looked like Thor running it in. It was like one of those accidents where he made a mistake, but the mistake he made, he realized it, turned back, grabbed the ball with one hand, and all the scouts were like, okay. That was like he probably just didn't.
I caught that was amazing.
So he caught a football, was running with the football, realized, oh crap, I got another ball, and caught it with one hand.
Yes, basically like tapped it to himself and then body pinned it. Yeah, it looked like George Kittle out there, honestly.
He did. Yep.
Did really? So he looked like he was straight out the trailer park, huh?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about right there. That's my people there. That's my people. Exactly. 10-yard splits. All right. So obviously this is that quickness off the line, right? Devin Culp, 1.55. Tip, is it Riemann or Ryman? Do you know, Jacob?
Ryman, I believe.
Ryman. Okay. Tip Ryman, 1.55. Theo Johnson, 1.55. Tanner McLaughlin, 1.58. Jaheim Bell, 1.58. Jatavian Sanders, 1.59. Cade Stover, 1.59. Ben Sanat, 1.59. Jared Wiley, 1.62. Dallin Holker, 1.66, and then Brevin Spanford, 1.67. So just to kind of show you a little quickness off the jump there. So who is your favorite? Not necessarily the best in the draft, Jacob, but if you said, man, that one guy right there, that's my tight end. Who is it?
Ben Sanat. I just think that he's the most well-rounded. I started looking at possibly guys like, I mean, honestly, even that Brevin Spanford, because I looked at what his PFF grade last year was like his peak. He had a really, really good year last year. He's a big dude. He's like 6'6", 6'7". He moved pretty well for what he did. But Ben Sanat just seems like an all-around, really, really good tight end. And if we could get that as our 3rd/4th tight end, I just think the Packers, he's too well-rounded of a tight end. Like that dude his run blocking grade, I think, was in the 80s. His pass blocking grade was in the high 70s, if low 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a good tight end. I just think that he's too good to pass up.
Got it. Currently, he is sitting in the 139 spot, and he peaked at 66. So obviously, he's liable to climb back up or in the top 100 again after that decent combine showing there. So I'm just going to write his name down. I'm trying to keep up with some of our favorites, if I can. I'm sure I'll forget. I'll lose these Post-it notes by the time the draft gets here. But you know how that goes. So let's move on to which one do you guys want to see next? You want to see safeties or corners, Tim? What would you prefer to hit, man?
Safeties.
Let's do safeties. All right, cool. Let's check out the safety numbers real quick as far as the 40-yard dash. And again, the RAS cards aren't completed yet on the website, so we'll just kind of dive into some of the combine numbers. Dadrian Taylor Demerson with the fastest 40 time according to NFL.com, 4.41. Then you had Millard Bradford with a 4.42, Jalen Simpson 4.45, Cole Bishop out of Utah 4.45, Tyke Smith out of Georgia 4.46, Javon Buller, there's Jacob's guy. You guys remember us talking about him, 4.47. That's a stout 40, Jacob. That's a stout 40, bro.
Yep.
Kalen Bullock out of USC 4.48. Let's see, Jalen Carlisle's out of Missouri.
Emilio's guy.
Yeah, 4.50. Dominique Hampton out of Washington, 4.51. Josh Proctor out of Ohio State, 4.55. Dijon Anthony 4.55. And he's out of Mississippi. Katan Oladapo, 4.58 out of Oregon State. Andre Sam out of LSU, 4.59. Now you're getting into the 4.6s here. I won't read them all, but it's worth mentioning. We talked about how we like Vaki. He has some slot experience there. His 40 time, 4.62. So not a great show in there.
Kitchens,
Cam Kinchens is the big talk so far of the combine of 4.65. You guys, here's people are immediately saying, I want to get your all's take on this too. People are immediately saying, oh, people putting too much stock into 40 time. They put too much stock into 40 time. Look at the tape. And I'm going, I looked at the tape. It was booty cheeks last year. Like he graded out bad according to PFF. His passer rating when targeted was absolutely horrendous. Now his 40 times slow. Like I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't, the only reason I find myself wanting to draft him is because the board suggests it, right? The board that I put together. If you were to ask my personal opinion, is Cam Kinchens a first round pick? I just don't see it. I don't even know if I see him as a second round pick, and I could be wrong. And you guys know I was the one pounding the table for our boy
Hamilton.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton, because I'm like, guys, watch the tape, because you had the tape. You had the tape you could lean on.
We have anything on Bo Braid?
I haven't seen anything. I'm assuming he did not perform.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah, didn't do anything. So
okay.
Maybe he interviewed, maybe he measured, and there's several names that aren't on here. Another was Tyler Nubin, right? So Tyler Nubin, you're not seeing any numbers.
I'll tell you what, man. If there was a guy that, I think that it is kind of telling that it seems like the combine, it either really, really helps you, or it really, really hurts you, or it does nothing. You know what I mean? And I think that in this category of guys that it really, really hurt would be Cam Kitchens. And if you look at the guys that it really, really helped, if you could scroll up, Mr. Cole Bishop, nobody in the earth thought that this dude was going to run a sub 4.5, a sub 4.4 40. And the dude, he blasted that. I think on NFL Draft Buzz, they had him listed at like a 4.55 40. So for him to run a 4.45 was massive. Same with Jalen Simpson. That guy just improved his draft stock quite a bit. And I think guys like Javon Bullard, he just solidified the fact that he is a legit first round draft pick. Same with Kalen. Right below him, I believe he was like a 4.4. Yeah. Kalen Bullock, that guy, another one that I think between Javon Bullard and Kalen Bullock, I'd be fine with us whiffing on the first pick and maybe picking like an edge or some big D tackle, because I think that there is a lot of talent to be had in maybe the second and third round for safety, but we'll see.
Let's look at some of the other numbers here too, Tim. Let's take a quick gander here at the 10-yard split. It was Bullock, then Bullard, Jalen Simpson. What's that?
No, that's awesome to me that Bullock and Bullard are both in the top.
Yeah, Javon Bullard from Georgia, man. After we watched a little bit of his highlight reel the other day, and then seeing how he performed at the combine, it's like, okay, this dude might be he may be the best safety in the draft. Like, tell me why he isn't. That's what I would say to someone that goes, whatever. Like, tell me why he isn't the best in the draft. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's a couple of reasons, but for me, I'm looking at it from the outside looking in, not knowing too much about these players and not being biased at all. And I'm going, I don't know, dude. He looks pretty squeaky clean so far. Vaki, a 1.54, kind of middle of the pack there, just to kind of glance through. Cam Kinchens, again, you guys see he's 3 spots from the bottom, right? So he wasn't quick off the line. He didn't finish strong, obviously, with the 40-yard dash. So let's see what his vertical jump looked like, to kind of keep an eye on Kinchens here. Because obviously, the 40 isn't everything. But when we go to vertical, you got Tyler Owens.
Jeez.
Yeah, Tyler Owens, Evan Williams. Tyler Owens with a 41-inch vertical, man. That is just insane. I'll just read them off in order, and then we'll kind of come back through and look at them. Tyler Owens, Evan Williams, Jalen Simpson. There's Vaki out of Utah. So he had the 4th best vertical jump, which obviously is going to lead to a pretty high explosion grade, I should say. Dominique Hampton, Cole Bishop. There's Cole Bishop again, Jacob, like you said, right toward the top half, right? Let's see here. Millard Bradford, Taylor Demerson, Jaden Hicks, then Dijon Anthony, Jalen Key, Oladapo, Tyke Smith, Andre Sam. There's Cam Kinchens again. This time Cam Kinchens is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the bottom. So he didn't jump well either, right? I say he didn't jump well, but I mean, to put that into perspective, guys, he jumped, what is that, 6 inches less than the top guy? I mean, that's pretty significant, right, Jacob?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
for sure.
he's lacking explosion. He's lacking speed. These things, they matter. He's lacking tape. Like, I can't figure out why people are so high on him. That's the part that gets me. And again, he's high on my board because everybody's high on him. And it's people I trust too. So it's like, okay, let's go to the broad jump. This helps with explosive too. Let's see if maybe he helped himself here. Starting from the top to the bottom, Tyler Owens, Jalen Simpson, Jalen Key, Evan Williams, Jalen Carlisle. There's Vaki in the middle. Millard Bradford. There's Cole Bishop, Taylor Demerson. Then Andre Sam, Jaden Hicks, Dominique Hampton, Josh Proctor, Tyke Smith, Oladapo, James Williams, Dijon Anthony, Damani Richardson, Patrick McMorris, and there's Cam Kinchins at the very bottom with a 9'2". That is insane. Like, what is he hurt? What's going on, boys? Tim, what do you think it is, man?
I don't know. Maybe people jumped the gun on him. Or maybe this is just an example of, the combine hurting somebody like Jacob just talked about. He's not certainly not helping himself. But, like I mentioned last night, he could have a terrible combine and end up having a great rookie season in the NFL. And we'll all be talking about that. Oh, he had terrible numbers at the combine.
Right.
And man, he's just came out of nowhere and is having a phenomenal rookie year. I mean, we've seen that story a million times. And it goes the other way too. You see guys that have, phenomenal combines and then they go out and crap the bed in their rookie season. So I don't know. Definitely something to keep your eye on, but I don't think Cam Kinchins is helping his draft status at all right now.
And that's the question. Like, how far is he going to drop? He's definitely going to drop, but how far is he going to drop? That's going to be the question. 3-cone drill, Jacob. Were there only 2 that ran the 3-cone?
Apparently. That's
pretty wild, isn't it? So,
maybe they just haven't updated it, but that seems crazy.
I imagine everybody got together and was like, "We're not going to run it," and then Dominic Hampton and Jaden Hicks each other like, "Let's go run it." It's gonna be right. We're gonna have the best 3-cone drill of all safeties. Got a 50. Let's see here, the 20-yard shuttle. Let's jump into it. Same thing. Wow. So. Just Dominique Hampton and Jaden Hicks. Only numbers on NFL.com. It could be that they don't have them uploaded. Let's see. Did they do the bench press? They did not do bench press. Okay, so there you go. You want to move on to corner, Jacob? Or you want to roll back through those safety numbers for something?
No, let's do corner. And then just to top on it, Newbin did not run the 40, but he did run a lot of the drills, and he looked good. Even the announcers were like, "Yeah, man, he looked." I don't know what. He might have been one of those guys that just thought like it's going to hurt my stock if I run a 4.6. You've seen what I can do on tape, kind of thing, and so I kind of get that. It is really, really sad that Nate Wiggins got hurt. That dude ran a 4.28, and then also that Owens also it sounded like he got hurt as well, and he was a freak. He was by far the leader in the high jump, or I'm sorry, the long jump, the broad jump, and the vertical. And then I think he also got hurt. So
I'm wondering if Cam Kinchins is sitting back looking at Tyler Newbin going, "I should have took that route."
Dude, yeah.
And it's what we talk about, right, Tim? Like that. Some of these guys have everything to lose and nothing to gain. When you're considered one of the top, if not the top safeties in the draft, and then you just completely bomb out. So I get it when people don't want to do it, man. Nate Wiggins
running around on that turf, around on that turf in Indy,
Nate Wiggins came in first here in the 40-yard dash at a 4.28. I'm assuming that's official now. They got the check next to it. Yep. Quinyon Mitchell 4.33. Those 2 guys helped their stock tremendously. DeCamerion Richardson a 4.34. Say it for me. Nehemiah, that's it. Nehemiah Pritchard, 4.36. Jerry and Jones out of Florida State. We talked about him several times. Love the hair.
Awful lot.
Yes, 4.38. That's solid, man. Daquan Hardy, 4.38. DeAndre Prince, 4.38. And then Max Melton coming in with a 4.39. He may not show it, but I bet he liked that time. You come in sub 4.4 for him, man. That's good numbers there. DJ James.
And he had a 40-inch vert. Dude 5'11" had a 40-inch vert.
That is insane, dude. He's explosive, no doubt about it. DJ James 4.42, Elijah Jones 4.44, Chris Abrams Drain 4.44, MJ Devonshire 4.45, Willie Drew, 446. Marcelia Style, 446. Mike Sain Rastil, 447. Dwight McLaughlin, 447. My boy Andrew Phillips, 448 out of Kentucky. He looked pretty good as far as the measurables anyway. Renardo Green out of Florida State, 449. Terrion Arnold, a 450. Man, I bet he's hating that. I mean, 450 isn't horrible, especially for the type of corner he is, but he was wanting to get sub 4.5 for sure. Cam Hart, 4.5. Kyrie Jackson, 4.5. Enos Rakestraw, 4.5. Josh Newton, 4.51. Let's see. Enos Rakestraw was a 4.51 as well. Tarheeb Steele, 4.52. Ryan Watts, 4.53. So the only two that didn't run under a 4.5 was Kalen King out of Penn State at a 4.61 and Isaiah Johnson at a 4.64. What stood out to you, Jake?
There was a lot of guys, like I said, that I think improved their draft stock. One of them was that Chris Abrams Payne. That was one of my guys. Seems like Missouri is just cranking out some dogs this year. They always crank out some dogs on every level of the game. Elijah Jones, a lot of people are mocking him now to us and maybe the later rounds, maybe 4th or 5th round corner, because he worked with Hafley there in Boston College. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know a lot about the guy. If you scroll up just a little bit there for me, I think that Max Melton probably put himself solidly into the 2nd round. I think that dude, I mean, just an all around athletic freak. It was kind of cool too that the announcer said, "Hey, we made a mistake with Bo Melton, not putting respect on his name." And I think we're gonna maybe overcompensate now and maybe put Max a little bit higher than maybe he should go, which is fine with me because I think the guy deserves all the credit in the world. DeAndre Prince put himself on the map because that dude, nobody thought he was going to run 4.38. And then Jerrion Jones, I think maybe quietly he has become the solid maybe 4th or 5th cornerback in the draft for sure.
Got it. Tim, what stood out to you, man? I know people were talking about Nate Wiggins' lack of size. He's like 173. He looked tiny. When I was looking at his arms as he was jogging back after just scorching that 40, and I'm going, that dude going to be able to last in the NFL because he is tiny, man. But what do you think about these guys? Quinyon Mitchell, obviously, that dude just continues to impress, man. He just feels like one of those guys we're going to look back in 10 years and go, yeah, he did everything. Yeah, the tape was there. Yeah.
It's tough with DBs, being undersized. I think it's tougher for a guy to put on weight, honestly, than it is for a DB to take.
Sound like you got some experience with that too.
Take weight off. Well, I mean, I've weighed I've been the same height and the same weight since I was about 17 years old. So
humble brag.
Not a lot of fluctuation, but I can speak from experience. It is. I would think it's a little tougher when you're built that way to put on that weight. I could be wrong. You get in there with those NFL training staffs, you get the dietitians and nutritionists working on what you're eating, and combining that with a workout, you can put some muscle weight on. But I think, for those type of players, it may be easier to come in a little overweight and have to cut up and burn that off. So if you're undersized, that can be a problem, like you said, Clayton, with longevity and being able to have your body withstand some of that abuse. But Enos Rakestraw didn't do himself too many favors. We kind of talked about that, but I'm actually rooting for him to continue to drop. So we can hopefully snatch him a little bit. And it's a little I'm don't get me wrong, I'm happy that people are starting to take notice of Max Melton. But that's another guy that I hope kind of stays under the radar that possibly could end up in Green Bay running 1v1s with his brother at camp. I'm here for it. So
Tim out here playing chess, man. We're playing checkers, Jacob. We're like, yeah, man, so-and-so dropped. Tim's like, yes, he did. Yes, he did. I love it. We won't focus on the 10-yard split. Let's go to the vertical with these corners real quick and just see who stood out. Elijah Jones, 42.5 inches. Where did he go to school, fellas?
Boston College.
Who's our defensive coordinator? Where did he coach? My
name is Jeff.
Just saying, that might be on the radar there. Daquan Hardy, 42.5. He matched it out of Penn State. Penn State's got some athletes coming out too, man. Holy cow. Andrew Phillips from Kentucky, 42-inch vertical. That I'm gonna be real with you guys. That surprised the heck out of me. I was like, look at Andrew, dude. He looks stout. You know what I mean? He looks, I don't know, I can't remember what his weight is, but he just looks like he carries his weight well. He looks like one of those guys, kind of like Jair. You know, Jair is a fast guy, but he looks a little bit thick. You could tell Jair's kind of, you know what I mean? Like he looks like he carries that weight really well. Max Melton, 40.5. Max Melton, I don't think Max Melton could have done any better, man. I really don't. Jerry and Jones, pretty decent there, 39.5 inches with the vertical. Cam Hart, 39.5 inches. As far as who may have hurt themselves there, Quinyon Mitchell, how far down is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the top was 42.5, and Quinyon Mitchell comes in at a 38-inch vertical. I think that's going to hurt him a little bit. The main thing these scouts are looking for in cornerbacks is speed. They want to make sure that you know, if you spend a high pick on a corner, he's going to be able to match speed with any receiver on the field. You heard our boy Daniel Jeremiah talk about that, right? Like if you draft a wide receiver and he runs a 4.6 40, well, guess what? The corner covering him is only running a 4.6 40. If you draft a corner and he can only run a 4.5 40 and he's trying to cover a receiver that runs a 4.3 40, he's not going to be able to keep up. So that's why they prioritize speed with corners way more than they do with wide receivers. If that makes sense. So just something to kind of keep in mind there. Terry and Arnold, he was kind of running a victory lap yesterday, and I know he was a big part of the showcase and talking about his background. There was some awesome stories in there, but I don't feel like he did like great. I mean, am I wrong there, Jacob? Do you feel like Terry and Arnold kind of was – did you come away going, yeah, that dude's a stud? Because I found myself going, man, I expected him to test a little better.
I don't know. I personally thought he did fine enough, just because if you're looking at it in the perspective of don't let the draft or don't let the combine sway what you've seen on tape kind of thing. Because like I said last night, apparently one of the current NFL GMs called in and talked to one of the analysts or whatever, and they claimed that after the combine that it was clear that there was two top corners, being Quinyon Mitchell and Terrion Arnold. I still think that is the case as far as just like what the draft consensus is going to shift towards, but he could have definitely, I think, performed just a little bit better. But again, we're talking about a guy jumping 37 inches versus 40.5. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like it is a lot, 3.5 inches. Trust me, it's a lot. But it's just, it's one of those things where I don't think that he underperformed to a point where it's going to hurt his draft stock. I think that he did just fine. One guy in the comments was talking about Kalen King, SDN 40, and Kalen King at one point, I don't know if you can find out where he peaked on the consensus, but I think at one point that guy was being talked about being maybe a second round pick or something like that. And he just continues to kind of bury himself. Penn State's a little unique. They got a lot of guys that test very well, that not necessarily top tier type guys, but if he continues to fall, that might be one to take a stab at, maybe in rounds 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that.
Kalen King peaked at 14, Jacob.
That's what I was saying, dude. Like, people thought he was like a top guy.
He's sitting at 93 now. So that's how far he's fallen. So why did they think he was a top guy? You know, probably based off what they seen on the field. And now all of a sudden he keeps dropping. You know, don't be surprised if you look up on Sunday and go, I'll be darned, Kalen King was good. Yeah, they talked about him being good all college football season until we got to the off season, and everyone starts to shuffle their boards around. So, all right, interesting stuff there. Nate Wiggins, 36-inch vertical, obviously a smaller guy. Trying to see here who else. Abrams Drain definitely didn't help himself with that vertical, 33.5. So, all right, good stuff, man. We're at the 35-minute mark, roughly 30-minute mark. Good deal. We're making good time. All right, let's any other workouts you want to see with the corners, or do you want to move on to a different position, Jacob?
I think we can move on.
Okay. I want to just glance real quick as a quick refresher here with linebacker, and just, you know what I mean, because we talked about a lot of stuff. I know we hit on a little bit yesterday, but Peyton Wilson, the fastest 40 time, 4.43. Then it was Kalen DeLoach, 4.47. Edgerrin Cooper, a 4.51. You guys know he's high on many people's boards. That was a solid run. Traven Wallace out of Kentucky, 4.51. Jordan McGee, 4.55. Ulafoshio out of Washington, 4.56.
Who?
Curtis Jacobs, 4.58. And there's Laufau, Leafau, however you want to say it, out of Notre Dame, 4.64 for him. So kind of came in a little bit on the wrong end of the stick there. So the big thing there, obviously, Peyton Wilson helped his draft stock tremendously. It's the injuries that everyone's concerned. If I understood correctly, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, if you know, somebody told me he's had 2 ACLs surgically repaired and he had a bum shoulder. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. That's why I'm just kind of love the guy. Looks good on tape, but he is so lean, so skinny. I just don't see him transferring that 6'4" frame, like 230, whatever he is, into the NFL and actually having success. Like you said, with two knee injuries, a shoulder injury, he just looks like a liability waiting to happen. Edgerrin Cooper, though, that dude just keeps showing out. Same with Trevin Wallace. He's slowly getting me excited about him. But I think Edgerrin Cooper right now is my number one linebacker.
Gotcha. All right, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let's see here. Edgerrin Cooper on my list when we did kind of the who are our favorites. I had Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Junior Colson, and Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper was number 3. I came away, I think, in the end saying Junior Colson was probably my favorite now. Edgerrin Cooper there, though, right toward the top. He definitely helped himself, man. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., man, I don't know what's going to happen with him, to be honest with you. I don't know how far he's going to drop or what, but
I think he's one of those guys that kind of will pan out, like I was saying. The combine didn't look good. The measurables don't look good. I think he's going to have a decent career somewhere. I really do.
Yeah, I can see it, man. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. You guys want to do a quick 3-round mock draft, and then we'll get out of here early? Is that cool with you guys?
Only 3.
Well, Jacob, I think you know why, sir. I'm over here battling a stomach bug today. So if you guys can pull it up on your side, that would be ideal. But I don't know. Do you feel comfortable doing that, Tim, or no?
I don't think I can pull that off. Jacob, what about you?
No, my heat lamp for the iguana cage uses too much amperage.
All right. Well, the last thing I want to do is get you guys stuck here on the screen.
Sure,
so we're just going to keep it through a 3-rounder. I don't know if I'll make it through a 3-rounder. We're over here feeling kind of bad right now, boys. So let's see here. Let's go 3-round normal.
Clayton, you want to go to lunch and eat some sushi?
Oh, there you go with this. There you go. All right. So here we go. Let's go ahead and crank her up. Bang.
Hold on, Clayton. We gotta get Jacob real quick. Hold on.
Oh, what? Oh,
there it is. I'm glad I can't see the screen. I throw up on my keyboard right now. All right. So once again, people offering us trades. Are we gonna do trades or no? We ain't got time for trades.
No.
Jacob, you're hurting over here, bro.
Anybody got time for that?
All right, here we go. We are picking at number 25. Top prospects on the board is Brock Bowers, Byron Murphy, Kool-Aid McKinstry is there, Keon Coleman, Enos Rakestraw. What are we thinking, Jacob? We got to go quick, buddy.
Are you going to throw that on the screen or no?
Oh, my God. This is a disaster. Hey, you guys talk amongst yourselves real quick, all right?
I don't remember what he even said, who we had for a pick.
We're picking 25th.
Yeah, picking 25th. I guess I would have to go with. He said Rakestraw. God, I don't know if I can pick Rakestraw now.
I don't know. Not in the first round, right?
No, can't go first round. I don't remember who else he said was available. He's probably
I mean,
Clayton's calling some dinosaurs right now.
I'm with the logic of like Clayton had mentioned before, that hopefully these early picks are quarterback heavy, get some of these QBs off the board, you know what I mean? And then we'll see kind of who's around at 25. I mean, we've done mocks before. We've taken D-line at 25. We've taken tackles at 25. I think it's just a matter of priority versus availability, right?
Yeah, I have a feeling like a tackle's going to slip to us, and it's going to be one of those picks where people are kind of like, ugh, why or who? But in the end, it's probably going to be a smart thing. Like I could see a
Marius Mims or...
Yeah, I was going to say Marius Mims or the tackle from Arizona, Jordan, I believe is Jordan Morgan.
Okay.
I could see that guy falling to us, which again, it won't be flashy, it won't be sexy. Nobody's going to be like, "Oh, that was such a great pick," but it might address some needs, especially because I think the biggest thing that we've not thought about, it's not that we haven't thought about it, but maybe we haven't materialized it, is if Bach is gone, if he really is gone, we're gonna have to take a stab at tackle, if not for anything else,
Early.
just to have some early tackle because I just don't see it being a very deep tackle draft this year. But you never know. We got Bach in the 4th round, didn't we? And he had tiny T-Rex arms, from what I remember. That was the scouting knock on Bach. But
Yeah,
what
I
do you
mean,
think
it just
about,
goes
what do
to
you think about
show
second round?
second round for what, a tackle?
Like, say we do something not necessarily on the radar. We get a tackle or a guard with our 1st round pick. Do you have to go defense right away with the 2nd round, you think?
That's well, you're talking to me?
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
right.
I would think that's when you're gonna want to try and grab a corner early 2nd round if you're gonna go, O-line in the 1st round. We talked about D-line too. Chris Jenkins has come to us in some of our mocks. I mean, really, like we talked about at the end of the season, like, that's kind of the X factor, man, this defense. If we can put this defense together in 2024 and we get the output even close or more output from our offense like we got in 23, I think, we can make a run at it. But the defense is going to be the X factor. So I would fully expect that that may be a slight priority over some of our offensive needs, obviously, other than O-line, because I think there's a lot of gaps there that need to be filled, particularly not just tackle, but interior offensive line as well. So I don't know. What
Yeah.
do you think about that?
Well, I mean, Omar says, yeah, we need 2 cornerbacks, 2 safeties at least in the draft, and we've talked about that, how we need at least 4 D-backs, if
Look at
not
that
more.
pick, man.
I know,
Omar's got the
Omar's got
Matt
that
LaFleur thug life pick right there, man.
lung dart.
Yeah, Tupac LaFleur right there.
Tupac. I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. I would love us to get. I mean, it sounds unrealistic, but yeah, take like 4 stabs at D-backs, two safeties, 2 cornerbacks. I think we need to take at least a stab at linebacker, and then I wouldn't be mad if we took 3 freaking interior offensive linemen like you were talking about. And there's
Yep.
still room for a backup tight end, and I wouldn't be mad if they took a swing at a wide receiver, just a late round one. So, I mean, we
Yeah.
have the picks for it. It's just whether or not, I would love. How much money would you pay logistically, like actually pay to be just to sit in the draft room and just listen to Goody and the floor, like talk about why or where they want to take guys? Hey, look, Carly Ray's here. Hey, Carly.
Oh man, I would pay so much, like ungodly amount of money to be able to just be a fly on the wall in the war room. Just to hear those conversations, right? That would be that would just be nuts, dude. SDN 40 says 40 kabillion dollars.
And then they did the old pinky up, not like Larry though.
Yeah. we won't put them through that again. We had what do we got here? This is from some of our mocks earlier here. So
Ooh.
this is what I think this was the collective that Clayton had put together of just, we did PFF mocks, we did what was the other one? We did
Draft Network.
Yep. So this is kind of like where we were. Obviously, you see double dipping at safety there, Cam Kinchins and Tyler Nubin. Now, of course, look with the intel we have. So Kinchins didn't do themselves any favors. We haven't really seen Nubin.
Leonard Taylor had a really poor RAS as well.
Yeah.
And then both Trotter and Colson didn't. Yeah, this could be all jacked up. I could see Vaki. Did you hear that they apparently he had a decent showing, but they wanted him to stay and do running back drills because they're projecting that he's going to have a better career as a running back in the NFL.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
that was one of Emilio's guys for sure. But he looked really good. I think he had like a 38.5-inch vert, decent 40 time, but apparently he looked a lot more capable as a running back versus safety.
Absolutely. But I mean, that's so tough, right? I mean, trying to make that change going into can you imagine? Like just you're trying to get drafted and now you got to change positions. I guess whatever you got to do to make it, but it's a lot of pressure to put on a young player, I think.
Omar
we're not talking going from safety to corner. We're talking about switching sides of the ball,
Completely different, yeah. Omar in the chat says Rasheed Walker at less than $1 million versus Bach at 40 million. I'll take Walker. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. All I worry about there is injuries because I don't know what's going to happen. Do you think that we're going to keep who's the big boy, Josh Nyman or Caleb Jones as our backups, or are we going to let one of those guys walk?
Well, I think Yash, he's already testing the market, I believe.
Yeah.
And as far as Caleb Jones, that was a guy I was really excited about. And, the Pack has kept him in the fold. He's dealt with some nagging injuries too, and we haven't really seen much of him. I would think we've seen enough of Yash, and I'm kind of like right where Clayton is on Yash as well. Like, he's not jumping off the screen, but he's not a liability. He's not a bad guy. He's a good rotational, offensive lineman. So, my money, I would keep Caleb Jones and continue with the project that we've built up with him. We've got time and energy and effort invested into him. Certainly, after a couple of seasons here, he's got a grasp of what Matt LaFleur expects offensively from our linemen. So I think if it was between those two, Jacob, yeah, I'm going with Caleb Jones for sure.
Is that the longest 7 minutes of your all's life?
You calling some dinosaurs out there or what?
Yeah, that's what she said, right? The longest 7 minutes of my life right there. All right, so here we go. Mock draft 3 round. So we've got 5 picks.
Byron
Sorry
Murphy.
if I'm out of breath, but what's that?
Oh, I'd love to take Byron Murphy.
Byron, would you really?
I would, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what we've got here. So best available, 6th best prospect, Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia. Defensive lineman Byron Murphy out of Texas, Kool-Aid McKinstry, 20th best prospect there. Obviously dropping because of foot injury. J.J. McCarthy, quarterback out of Michigan. You got Keon Coleman. I mean, you pretty much got the pick of the litter right here of all the guys that we like. Let's go around the horn once here. Is there any specific positions you guys would like to see? Start with you here, Jacob. Or is it just Byron Murphy for you?
To me, I might have to go Brock Bowers just because it's such a value.
Hey, I'm not saying. I'm just saying, man. Could you imagine?
Tight end? Yeah. I mean, if we could have Brock Bowers as our 3rd tight end, that's kind of cool. Yeah. I think I'd either go Brock or Byron. I'll leave it up to Tim.
All right, Tim, what are you thinking, man?
I'm going to have an aneurysm if we take a tight end with the 25th pick. I'm sorry. So
I bet many Packer fans agree with you. I guarantee it.
And I'm sure they'd be just as upset if we took a corner as well. But my gut is telling me Byron Murphy or Kool-Aid.
Okay.
But hey, take a tight end. Why not?
Yeah. Here's the way I see that too. Byron Murphy and Kool-Aid, that's who it comes down to for me. Obviously, Rakestraw is going to drop significantly, I would imagine. If we took Brock Bowers, I wouldn't be like crazy ticked off, right? You're talking about a guy who's going to instantly be tight end number 1. And now imagine Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave battling for tight end number 2 in a 12 personnel. When you're in 11 personnel, Brock Bowers, some people were saying he's going to be a generational talent at tight end. Like he's that good. I think he would be the best tight end in the draft if he had came out last year. I've heard many people say that. That's how good he is, right? But at the same time, Tim, I think I agree more with you in that regard. When it comes to Byron Murphy and Kool-Aid McKinstry, we've been told over and over the last few days that Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to be just fine. He's going to be ready to go for camp. There's no problem there. Oh, by the way, Jonathan Brooks, Ryan jumped in the chat last night and talked about him. It was released, I think it said like 17 hours ago or something. So Ryan may have seen it. I hadn't seen it yet. They're saying he's going to be ready for July 1st, running back Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. So just keep that in mind. Many people think he's hands down the best running back in this draft. But anyway, Kool-Aid McKinstry will be ready for camp. My pick here will be Kool-Aid McKinstry. So if you guys are good with it, we'll run with it. Does that sound good? All right, there you go. All right, so here we are at 41 now.
Oh, yeah.
Decline the trades. So, looky here. It lines up perfect, doesn't it? I heard you say, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
J.J. McCarthy, 24. That's who we're going with here. No, I'm just kidding. Michael Penix Jr., the 39th best prospect. He's available. And then it's Tyler Nubin at 41. Tavondre Sweat, 43, Xavier Worthy, 44, Jatavian Sanders, 46, and Cam Kinchens at 47. There's Edgerrin Cooper at 48. I think this is pretty easy here, don't you, Jacob?
Yeah. Penix Jr. Nah. Let's go Newman. Lock that in. 41 for 41.
Now, what do you think, Tim? You good with it, man? There it is. We get the approval from Tim. So we go Tyler Nubin with 41. I like this draft already, boys. Holy cow. Let's see. All right. Oh, looky here. Looky here. Oh, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough on Jacob. You guys know where my pick. Well, I don't know, man. Holy cow.
Dude.
That is really tough. All right. So for those of you listening on the pod, we're going, just say it, Clayton. We can't see the damn thing. Edgerrin Cooper is available. We're picking at 58, okay? We've already taken Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback out of Alabama, Tyler Nubin, safety out of Minnesota, right? You got Edgerrin Cooper is the 48th best prospect. Peyton Wilson, who just had that scorching, crazy good time, 40 time, sitting there in the 52 spot. Junior Colson in the 57 spot. Javon Bullard, safety out of Georgia, in the 59 spot. Jonathan Brooks in the 60 spot. Braden Fisk, 61. Holy man, this is screaming trade out right here, boys. There's so many good talents. Obviously, we're not going to trade out. We don't have another pick till 88. Jacob, I'm putting this on you. What the heck do you do in this situation, man?
Man, this is very tough. I would, on any day, I'd pick Cooper, Wilson, Colson, Bullard, Brooks, or now I think Fisk even could be, in my opinion, above all those guys.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And then not to mention Ruka.
Really good combine, right?
I am
who?
I might, it sounds crazy. I might go for Fisk right here.
That's interesting.
I think I'd either go Fisk or Cooper.
That's what the mock draft database is suggesting is Braden Fisk. For me, man, there's a chance one of these backers are available at 88, but it's a slim chance, right? Right, yeah. Tim? I mean, how?
Yeah. I'm kind of more with Wilson or Cooper here.
Yeah, just go ahead and get the back. Get your pick of the litter. Whoever you've got as your best backer on the board, you would take him here if you're Goody, right?
Do we have would you say linebackers probably more of a priority than D-line? I mean, we're talking we said 2 linebackers, 2 D linemen, with the 58th pick here, having a nice grouping of linebackers to choose from. Or do we go ahead and no, Jacob has a great point because there's no way Braden Fisk is on the board.
Right.
If we don't take him now. So I totally understand, that logic there. So I don't know. Let's put it back on the Beard. This is the Beard's pick. The future of the franchise is on you. Let's go.
Let's go, Cooper.
Edgerrin Cooper, best available linebacker according to the consensus big board. Again, we broke them down. We had Cooper as our 3rd best linebacker in the draft. I had him behind Junior Colson, but remind me again, Junior Colson didn't do any drills, right? Am I thinking right?
Nope.
Okay, so.
Hold on. Carly Ray in the chat.
What'd she say?
Guys, seriously, 3 to 5 good picks available. Trade back 1 to 3 spots.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I would say, Carly. But you're not battling the stomach virus over here, so we've got to make this pick. We are on the clock and out of time here, Carly. Let's go, Edgerrin Cooper. I agree with you. We got to treat these simulations like, okay, this is what our board looks like, right? Or else, what are we doing? We might as well go down here. Let's go down. I like this guy. Let's take Cedric Von Prant. You know what I mean? So we got to kind of keep it somewhat realistic. I'm with you, Jacob. Let's go Edgerrin Cooper here. Man, putting him in that linebacker room, next to Quay. Come on, dude.
We're getting another A for this one. I'm calling it.
Edgerrin Cooper next to Quay would be awesome. Peyton Wilson next to Quay would be awesome. Junior Colson next to Quay would be awesome. Javon Bullard next to Tyler Nubin would be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brooks behind Aaron Jones with no A.J. Dillon would be awesome. Like Braden Fitt, like you said, this is what we're talking about in the 2nd round. And it's me and Emilio talking about him coming up live for the draft. I'm like, dude, come up for the 2nd and 3rd round. That's going to be
that's the meat and potatoes of the draft for sure.
It's going to be all, and the Packers got a ton of picks. It'll be a party. So let's go Edgerrin Cooper here. Another A, like you said, Tim, you called it. Give me that applause, please, sir. I'm going to need a
No, we got to go with the.
All right, I like it.
Look at what we got here. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Straight A's. Look at this. Let's get another one.
All right, number 88. Here's the top picks for those of you on the pod. Jonathan Brooks at 60. Trey Benson, 64. These are running backs, obviously. Jonathan Brooks, best running back in the draft. Trey Benson out of Florida State. Blake Corum, 66, running back out of Michigan. Then we got Jeremiah Trotter Jr. at 67. Kalen Bullock, safety out of USC at 69. Chris Abrams, drain cornerback out of Missouri at 72. Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver out of Florida at 73. Christian Haynes at 74. A lot to choose from. Understand that we have to get all the way down to Adiza Isaac before we're reaching. That's how many. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 prospects that would be considered best available, if you will.
All right.
I like Haynes right here.
I was gonna say grab Brooks and then go Haynes.
Okay.
Grab Jonathan Brooks, running back out of Texas, right? And then try to get Christian Haynes with 91. Is that correct, Jacob?
That's what my game plan would be.
I like that, dude, because you've already got you a corner. You've already got a safety. You already got a linebacker. Now you go ahead and lock up Jonathan Brooks, A+. Let's go.
Oh, did we
And
lose
then
him?
here we are at 91. And Christian Haynes. Well, I don't understand as an organization why we're paying Goody. We can do this job. We've got it's still kind of tough, though. Carly's in the chat right now going, Clayton, I don't care what your stomach feels like. I trade back again. I agree, Carly. Right here might be another good spot to trade back, right? Yeah. But getting the 74th best talent, and in my opinion, one of, if not the best offensive lineman in this draft, and Christian Haynes, I think he's a stud. When we did our breakdown, we had him as the second best offensive lineman behind Powers Johnson. I like to put the tackles and everybody in a group together and just try to rank them by who is the best player playing their best position. Forget the positions of importance for a second. Christian Haynes was second on that list, so I love it. Does anybody disagree? Christian Haynes right here at 91.
No.
There we go. Did we crush that draft? I love that. I wish we would have went 7 rounds now, Jacob. I don't know why you talked me out of it. So,
yeah, I know.
Because we don't need to have to clean the keyboard off. That's why. Let's see. We did just go to 91, right? I don't need to click the save button. So I'm just going to screenshot this right here. So our picks here in this 3-round mock draft.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you. I'm going to put that on Twitter. I'll probably get roasted. It doesn't matter what you could put a draft containing Joe Montano, Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice, and they'll still go, what are you thinking here? Yeah, dude, that's a solid draft. We're putting that in
so good.
By the way, I'm going to go ahead and throw that up.
And then the Bears took Drake May.
What's that?
I said, the Bears took Drake May.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild. So there you go, man. That was fun. That was a good little mock. Again, we got the screenshot right here, so we'll talk about it tonight if you guys want to kind of revisit it. Kool-Aid McKinstry with the 25th pick. Tyler Newman, safety out of Minnesota, with the 41st pick. In the 58th spot, we took Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker out of Texas A&M. Number 88, we took Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. And number 91, we took Christian Haynes, interior offensive lineman out of UConn. That will be your starting right guard. Yeah, dude, that's solid draft, man.
I'd be so jacked if we had that draft.
No doubt. I will. I'm going to tweet that out right now. I'll tag both of you guys in the tweet so you can get the lashes on the back with me. All right. So you're along for the ride. I'm going to just say, hey guys, they did it. I was just kind of navigating it. It's all them. But I don't see how anyone would dislike that draft for the Packers. That's going to be probably the best one we've done yet. So there you go. Man, the chat was lit. I'm sorry I was sick today, guys. We couldn't really keep up with the chat. You guys are awesome, though. Everybody agrees, though. Good draft. Now, that's a draft. Yeah. Yeah, look at my man Doug said, forget the draft, guys. Hang in there, Clay. I appreciate that, Doug, because these guys ain't showing me any sympathy. They're putting broken pinkies on the screen. Jacob talking about raw sushi. Like,
Clayton.
Wash your hands, wash your butt, man. That's it. That's all.
I wish that's all it took, Tim, because I tell you what, this feels like I've been sick for a month. But we'll get through it. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Appreciate you. Any parting thoughts? Jacob, you got anything, buddy?
No, man, it was a great draft. Good morning. We got Omar back in the place. What's up, Omar? Mike Habring just showed up. Man, it's a good day.
There it is. There's our first one, Mike Habring. So I'm not taking a cornerback with a Liz Frank. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you, buddy. You're always. We appreciate you, man. That's all. Listen, it's a valid point. It's a valid point, man. You know, the Liz Frank ain't nothing to. I mean, you talk about all the time, right, Tim? As I get ready to, we're gonna throw up when you go. You talk about Eric Stokes, right? That was Liz Frank was a part of that injury, right?
Yep.
So there you go. We're over here complaining about Eric Stokes not being on the field. Mike come in here and backhanded us and said, "All right, guys, don't forget." All right, Tim, you good, man? You need anything?
I'm with Greg Rice. No long snapper?
Exactly. Maybe in the 4th round. We'll see, man. We'll see.
If you guys want to Venmo Clayton so he can buy some saltines and Sprite, he's going to need that.
Don't do that, Jacob. I'll get money rolling and be feeling bad. Have to go buy an autographed jersey to give away because I'll be feeling bad. But, we'll be good. We'll be good. I'm just going to go down here and call some dinosaurs and lay on the couch and have Mandy stare at me like a pathetic loser. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how that works.
My favorite part of Varsity Blues when he looks, Billy Bob's going to puke.
Yeah.
Thinking about calling some dinosaurs, I figured I'd give him a holler.
Goes into the washing machine, didn't he? Is that what it was?
Yeah. I'll let some hot dogs.
If you have not seen Varsity Blues and you don't get easily offended, go watch it, okay? It's a great movie, man. Anybody who grew up in the 90s and in the early 2000s knows exactly about Varsity Blues. What are you covering your face for, Jake? You thought another part, didn't you?
It's just my favorite part of one of the Office episodes where they have Movie Monday and they pick Varsity Blues. Jan walks in and Michael Scott, "Hey Jan, hope you brought your milk duds."
The popcorn, he just, "Hey Jan." Dude, The Office. We're watching the super fan episodes for like the 3rd time through on Peacock. They're unbelievable, man. They're so good. So good. So yeah, but Varsity Blues, man. Anytime you sneak into a strip club with your high school buddies and one of the school teachers is there, it's going to make for a good scene. You guys get a chance, go check it out. It's a good movie. It's funny. Again, though, keep the kids out of the room. It's not one of those tops. So, all right, we're out of here, guys. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We will be back tonight for PTA Live unless I get worse. I think I'll feel better by then because I wouldn't have tried to do a show if I didn't think we couldn't get through it. We failed miserably, but that's what we do here on Packers Soul Access. We fail miserably at trying to do a professional podcast. So we appreciate y'all. Oh, God. You hear my voice crack. All right. We're out. Everybody have a good day. For those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world and go Pack Go.